you'll be back in Statuary Hall for the unveiling of your portrait. And what do you want them to say about you at that ceremony?
He was a good man.
That's it.
That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so goes the beginning of the ending of John Boehner's term as Speaker of the House of Representatives. Now, the Speaker wasted no time calling out his opponents during his appearance on yesterday's Face the Nation on CBS, highlighting those Republicans who he termed false prophets.
Is Ted Cruz a false prophet?
Listen, you can pick a lot of names out. I'll let you choose them.
You don't debate that assertion?
I'll refer you to my remark at a fundraiser I made in August in Steamboat Springs, Colorado.
Well, at that speech, he did refer to Senator Cruz as a jackass, I believe. So there you have it. I don't know if that equates to false prophet or not. So were the members of the Freedom Caucus, with an assist from their meddling friends in the Senate, Senator Cruz, responsible for ending John Boehner's long career in the House of Representatives, or something else at work, Joe Concha?
Yes, they are absolutely responsible for taking down Boehner. And this is 2015, where if you're establishment, you're in big trouble. Yeah. We see that with Trump and Fury and in Carson at the top of the polls. You see it with Boehner. You see more tweets out there saying, McConnell, you're next. I heard a great analogy this week, and I think it was Jackie Kucinich on CNN. She said, the Freedom Caucus and the conservatives in the House are like the dog that caught the car. You know, they always chase. They caught the car. Now the test is, can they actually put somebody in there, right, who can be effective or electable in an election?
Well, isn't this the question? So now you got rid of John Boehner. Yippee-yi-yo-tie-yay. The Tea Partiers, the Freedom Caucus, as they're called, they're happy about this, as are some other people. What's the difference going to be, Bill?
Well, look, I would argue that there needs to be a change. I think that first and foremost has to happen. And I amen Joe's point. This is the season for change, clearly.
Yeah. So, Noah?
But is there going to be one forthcoming?
I don't think it's going to be any change at all.
Right. I mean, it seems like the contours of what's happening here are going to be between Tom Price and McMorris Rodgers. And I feel like McMorris Rodgers really has the inside track as far as being the establishment candidate. She was groomed for this role. And Tom Price got a real big boost today from a voice of support from Paul Ryan, which gives him a little bit of credit.
But not
credence
towards
with
the speakership, but towards the
majority leader. The speakership is Kevin McCarthy's. I mean, that's pretty much over.
You think that's a done deal?
I think that's a done deal. The question is whether or not the conservatives get behind somebody who has some conservative bona fides, which would be Tom Price. If Tom Price can ascend to the majority leadership, then they really have a feather in their cap.
So I got to ask you guys this question. Is it just me, or did anybody else find it odd that after decades of trying to bring a sitting pope to the floor of the House, Boehner chooses to announce his resignation smack in the middle of this pope's visit? I don't get that. I really don't.
I don't know if it's odd. I think we saw it in that interview, and we saw it time and again with Boehner. He's a very emotional person who I think that somehow seeing the Pope maybe gave him,
that.
You know what I mean? That gave him the incentive to say, you know what, this is the right time to do it.
Totally understand that.
Something happened with him.
I can absolutely see that there was something the Pope said to him, or just reaching that accomplishment might have said, okay, now's the time to go. But he could have waited until today, or this coming Friday, to make this announcement. It wouldn't have had an impact any different that I can see from doing it on Friday. Why does he come out right in the middle of the Pope's visit and decide that's the day to make the announcement? The reporter in me goes, there's something going on here. There's something I'm missing. No,
don't look at me like I have a theory. I certainly don't. I'm not sure. You saw reports that suggested that there was going to be some insurrection, and they wanted to. There was like unsourced quotes in the press that suggested they wanted to give him the opportunity of having the Pope's visit. But why they let it wait for the weekend, I don't know.
I just don't, Bill. Do you see anything here?
No, I don't. Maybe Joe's right. Maybe it's just the emotion of the moment. I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm going to keep my ears, eyes, and nose open to the possibility that there's something lurking there that caused him to do it. I have no theory either on what it is, but I just find it very odd. There were no shortage of Republicans, elected or otherwise, ready to applaud the demise of this speaker.
Just a few minutes ago, Speaker Boehner announced that he will be resigning.
So whatever happened to the days, guys, where when somebody announced their retirement after many, many, many years of service in their job, people showed respect? What, I mean, was...
You know who you sound like right now?
What?
John Kasich, who will be on with J.D. Hayward tonight.
Yeah, he did.
said that
He did
exact
say it.
thing. He's friends with Boehner because obviously
Right.
they're both
They're
from
from
Ohio,
Ohio.
right? But he said, people are cheering. He was more mocking Cruz because Cruz, obviously did an end zone dance, thinking that he was completely responsible for it. And said, this guy served. He served well. We grew in the House. We grew in the Senate, and he's a good guy, John Boehner. And the fact that we're dancing on his grave and we're from his own
And
party
he's not even
is
dead.
deplorable.
It's
That's true. He's
very
still breathing.
strange. Noah, did John Boehner fail?
No, he certainly did not. If an objective assessment of his, and the Wall Street Journal had a really good opinion piece on this, if an objective assessment of his tenure as the House Speaker is full of conservative victories, most appreciably, keeping spending flat, ending earmarks, stuff like that. And that's the kind of stuff that conservatives are supposed to want. What they've been told that they want is these magical goals of repealing Obamacare, stuff that they could never accomplish. So the bar was set too high for him.
I agree with that, by the way. I think he's been badly treated, and I think he actually accomplished a lot given the hand he was dealt. We want to know who you think might be the right Republican to take over as the next Speaker of the House. You can let us know at newsmaxtv.com/comments. Coming up next, time to look back at the Pope's visit to America. You don't want to miss this retrospection, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.